This is a 5 on your side local news update.
Good afternoon, Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank with an update. A busy last 2-3 days, depending on where you are. We've seen at least consistent rain and some very heavy rain, and now it's quieted down significantly. And you have a mix of sun and clouds to some degree. We take a look outside. The big picture shows that we have a mix of sun and clouds here in Arnold, and that's what we'll see over the next several hours. For the most part, though, it is quieting down in the short term. I want to bring you a couple of updates on what's happening here so far. And it's really been this front that's sitting here, and we have showers and storms develop along that into the overnight hours, and particularly this area of moisture gets a little bit stronger than weakens during the day. So that's why we've seen most of these storms predominantly in the overnight hours. There still are a few light showers from Lesterville, Potosi. They're not going to develop any further. These are areas that I know you do not want to see any more rain, as we've seen that really stretch from Gasconade into Herman, Franklin, Jefferson County, and further south, and pretty significant rain too. And when you look at how I've looped this since Wednesday night, and even Tuesday for some of you, since Wednesday night, you'll look at some of these spots that go all the way up to 9, 10, 11, 12, even 13 inches of radar estimated precipitation. And that's why a lot of these rivers locally are swollen, particularly the Merrimack. Even the Missouri River has gone up significantly as well, just because of the area that we've seen all that rain. You'll look at some of these spots even higher. So we don't need any more rain in those areas, but otherwise in the St. Louis area, also into the Metro East, you have seen a pretty good beneficial rain. It's quiet for now. You'll see that it is clear, but I want to note this disturbance off to the west here as we start to see that just a little bit of movement here, and it's this area specifically that I think is going to be the focal point for development this afternoon. And it's going to be a little further north, and I think that's why we're going to look at more storm development and into the overnight hours. So for the rest of the next couple of hours, a sprinkle is not out of the question locally, but I don't think it's going to impact us too much. But into the overnight hours, I think we're going to watch the storm system push a little further north. That doesn't mean it won't drag a few showers and storms locally. I think the stronger storms are going to be to the north of us, and that's where I think we see the best chance for maybe a few stronger storms and some at least more moderate rainfall. Otherwise, the sun's trying to come out a little bit more, and it's gotten us up to 86. It still is incredibly muggy. We still cannot shake that. And into the afternoon, I still expect that for the most part, it is going to be drying out just a little bit more now as we have a sprinkle or two. But in the city, it's drier this afternoon as we're in the mid to upper 80s the rest of the day. As far as our severe risk goes into tonight, this is where the main severe risk, this does include Rolla, this does include Herman. I know more areas that don't want to get rain, but I think wind and hail are probably the main threats from this. The reason that it starts to wane as it gets closer to the St. Louis area and into the Metro East is because of the timing for this. And like I mentioned, I think a lot of that has to do with as it arrives after midnight, the shift of focus will be another flood watch. This specifically for our northern areas like Troy. Really, that's the only area specifically in this flood watch through Saturday morning because of not only it's pretty saturated, but the potential for more heavy rain as well. So like I mentioned, where the storm goes to the north, the heaviest of rain will fall there as the atmosphere is very saturated. And then we get a break the rest of Saturday. I do want to look ahead to Sunday. That's where I think we're going to see our next best bet for rain. It just depends on when that arrives. And I think at this point, it's going to take a little bit of a minute to get here. So spot storms here into the overnight hours, better opportunity to the north for some stronger to severe storms. I'm not quite sold on the fact that we're going to get heavy rain locally, but we'll watch for that. I think it's north in those areas that I mentioned where you're going to see the most persistent rainfall. Then we continue this west to east pattern, which has been a little bit of a change, right? We've had that southerly pattern, but then we're going to focus on our next cooler air mass, which brings milder air, and that means below average readings, but it also means a next chance for severe weather, and I think that's going to be a little bit better here. So as we talk about Saturday morning, most of your rain is early. The rest of the day clears out nicely. Sunday starts off nicely as well, and then I think we're going to see, depending on the timing of this front, our next chance for showers and thunderstorms, and that's where I think we may see some stronger storms. And right now, our severe risk Sunday still includes us in a slight risk for severe weather, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts or greater, and some hail potential. And that's going to be our biggest focus here over the coming next couple of days. We'll monitor that and have another update for you in just a few.
This has been a 5 on your side local news update.